Hello everyone, welcome to the another session of learning French. In this session we are going to do stressed pronoun or les chronotonic in French. So let's begin. First of all, we would look how to identify or where would we find a pronoun or chronotonic in a sentence, or how do they are used. Mostly chronotonic are used with prepositions, after prepositions, or say, ce sont, que, and after comma. Now let's see what are the chronotonic in French. So let's have a little introduction on that. There are eight of them I have mentioned. I have left one soir that I'll discuss later on, but let's look at these eight. So I have divided them into two groups. The first, this left group is of singular ones and the right group is of the plural ones, and depending on the first person, second person, and these two comes under third person. So let's begin. For moi, the first one is moi, which means me. Toi, which means you, singular, and this is a second person singular. And lui and elle. So lui and elle both are third person singular, but depending on the gender we use them. For masculine we use lui, which means him, and for feminine we use elle, which means her. So these were singular ones. Now same way we have plural ones. Plural we have the first one nous, which means us. The second one is vous, which is plural one, second person plural, and it means plural you. This one means singular you, and this is plural you. And o and l. O is for plural them, for masculine, and l is for plural feminine, them. Cool. So these are the chronotonic or stressed pronouns. Now we will see the counterpart, since we have already studied subject pronouns. So we'll have a look and we will have a little bit of comparison, or we will try to find a linkage between them, like how they are derived from each other. So here are subject pronouns and stressed pronouns, or I would say object pronouns. So for je means I, then moi, it means me, right? So je is a counterpart of like moi is a counterpart of je in terms of object pronoun. Tu corresponds to toi. Il corresponds to lui. Now elle corresponds to elle. Now if you see, the spelling is same here, right? L and L. So you must be thinking, if in a sentence if L is written, how do you decide, or how do you find out, or how do you figure out the meaning of it? Like it would either mean she or either it would mean her. So it will depend in sentence where it is placed. Like you need to look at the syntax and then you will find out what is the meaning of it. So there won't be any confusion. So you will see many of them has a similar spelling. So that means the place will decide whether it is used as a subject pronoun or as used as a stressed pronoun, right? So in case of nous also, nous is for we, and here nous is for us. Vous is for you plural, and vous is for again you plural. Il for they, and o for them. So here spelling is not same, so there's no possibility of confusion. Now L, again they, and here L is them. So place will decide. So let's have a look at few examples. So there's a sentence in front of you. Elle va avec elle. Now she goes with her, right? Now this L and this L spelling is same, but as you can see that L, this first L is placed at the place of subject, right? It is playing as a subject, so it will have a meaning she, and this one is at the place of object. Now if you look at the syntax, subject, verb, preposition, and object. So at the place of object this L is written. That means this L has a meaning of her, right? Let's have another example. Il vient à nous. Il vient à nous. So here nous doesn't mean we, it means us, right? Because it is coming at the place of object, correct? So the third one is elle part sans vous. She lives without you, or you, this you is a plural you. Now the meaning is basically she lives without you. Now the bottom line is, if you are using subject pronoun or stressed pronoun, it depends. In case of certain similar spellings, the place will decide what is the meaning of that particular word, right? Okay, now we will look at the usage of chronotonic. How do we use them? How many ways we can use them in sentences, right? So let's begin with the first usage. So the first use is to emphasize a noun or a pronoun, correct? We'll go with the examples. Moi, the first example is moi je pense qu'il a tort. So je pense qu'il a tort means I think he is right, correct? So here, when we have already mentioned subject here, right, why we are putting moi in front of it? Because we are trying to emphasize on the subject, and that's how it solves the purpose. Like that's how the usage is implied here. Moi je pense qu'il a tort. Me, I think he is right, correct? The next one is je ne sais pas moi. Je ne sais pas means I don't know. Then why it's moi? Because we are emphasizing on je. As we say, emphasize on a noun or a pronoun, right? So we are emphasizing on this pronoun, and we know that je is a subject pronoun, correct? So let's take the third example, which is lui, il est toujours contre tout. Him, he is always against everything, correct? Him. So this lui is emphasizing on this il. The next one is elle, c'est vraiment ma meilleure amie. Now in this particular sentence, you can't see that subject is elle, right? But sometimes we write at the place of elle, il, elle, we can use say also. So that's why it is written here. But elle is emphasizing on say or on the pronoun or on the subject, correct? So elle, c'est vraiment ma meilleure amie. She is my best friend. Okay, so moving on to the next usage. So the next one is to show the possession. So as we know that we use for possession, we use possessive adjectives. But apart from that, there is another way we use chronotonic also to show a possession. And the combination will be like être verb will be followed by preposition a, and then after that you will find moi, toi, lui, elle, nous, vous, eux, elle. Like subject object pronouns will be there, or chronotonic will be there. So être, preposition a, and chronotonic. So let's see. The first example is ce stylo est à moi. Est à moi. So être is there, preposition is there, and then chronotonic is there. So être and then a and then moi, est à moi. Ce stylo est à moi. This pen is mine. So it shows that pen is mine. It shows the possession of me with the pen, right? The next one is quel livre est à toi? Now this is a question, right? Which book is yours? That's it. So it is asking about the possession of the with the book. So the third one is à qui est cette écharpe? Écharpe is scarf. À qui est cette scarf? Now this is a question, and if you are answering it, c'est à moi. This is mine. Likewise, the next one is à qui sont ces gants? Whose gloves are these? Ce sont à lui. These are his gloves. Correct? The next one is c'est à toi? Non, ce n'est pas moi. Ce n'est pas à moi. Is it yours? No, it's not mine. So say is used for it is, right? So it is not mine. Is it yours? It's not mine. So let's move on to the next uses after say or ce sont. So say, ce sont means it is, or this is, or these are. So it is, this is, and these are. Correct? So let's take first example. C'est toi qui dois aller le chercher. It's you who search. The second one is ce ne sont pas eux qui pourront le faire. They are not the one who can do it. C'est moi qui ai trouvé la solution. It's me who found the solution. C'est lui qui a raison. It's him who is right. Correct. So if you see this part, this yellow part of the sentence, you see that you are stating it's you, it's me, and then after there is use of qui, right? So if you break the sentence and if you translate it in English, it means it's you who. You can also translate it in other way also. You can say that you must search it. It's simply, but the usage of it is again emphasizing here also, right? C'est moi, it's me who has found the solution. So it's me, you're emphasizing on the person that is doing the work, correct? So let's look at the another usage, which is conjunction with another subject or verb implied. So what does it mean? So if it is used as a conjunction with another verb, another subject in a sentence, so here you see there is a subject Vishal et moi, so it's being used as a conjunction with this particular subject, or I would say noun here. So Vishal et moi, nous allons à Tokyo. Vishal and me, we are going to Tokyo. Lui, him and sa mère and his mother, ils sont toujours d'accord sur tout. Him and his mother, they are always agree on everything. Toi et ta collègue. Toi means you and your colleague. Vous avez gâché la soirée. You and your colleagues have spoiled the party. Nous aimons skier, mais lui pas du tout. We like to ski, but lui pas du tout. Here, this one is the example of verb implied. Why? Because if you observe this sentence, there are two sentences. You know, nous aimons skier, right? This one, mais lui pas du tout. So in this case, for the next sentence, we are not rewriting the verb like lui aime, lui aime pas du tout, not like that. Verb is already implied on this sentence also, and in that case, if you are using lui, you don't have to write a verb. So that's how it is used. Moving on to the next use, the fifth use of it will be, you can use it with the preposition. So basically it's nothing different usage. Mostly you will find a chronotonic are used after the prepositions, like here contre, pour, right? Chez, sans, it's like that. So qu'est-ce qu'il a contre eux? What does it have against them? What does he has against them? Right? Oh, contre eux. Cet employee travaille pour nous. This employee works for us, right? The for us. Vous allez chez eux ce soir. You are going to them this evening. Il n'achète rien sans elle. He buys nothing without her. That's it. So you see, before the chronotonic there is a preposition. By mistake I have not marked them, and instead I marked them, but you need to find out like contre, pour, chez, and sans. These are prepositions. Let's move on to the next example of usage. In comparison, this you're gonna find interesting, right? Caroline est plus intelligente que lui. The first example, Caroline est plus intelligente que lui. Right? So if you don't try to, simply we are replacing a person, right? If this was not here, the person's name would have been there, right? So after que, so when que and preposition, when que and chronotonic is used, that means it's a comparison, right? And after this there is nothing. Il court plus vite que toi. He runs faster than you. Ils sont aussi riches qu'elle. Now aussi and riche, right? Aussi que is used in English we use like as much as long as, so as usage. So in French we use aussi que. Ils sont aussi riches que elle. They are as rich as her, right? Elle n'est pas aussi douée que vous. So this means she is not as capable as you. So here you is plural ones, right? More than one person or somebody you want to give respect to, correct? Let's see another usage, and this is the same thing. Basically you are using moi, toi, lui with mem, and that gives the sense of self, right? Moi mem myself, toi mem yourself, lui mem himself, nous mem ourselves, vous mem plural yourself, ils mem themselves, and elles mem themselves for masculine and feminine, right? So let's have example. Elle a rédigé tous ses discours elle-même. She writes all her dialogues herself, correct? Écrivez-les vous-même, write them yourself. And this is imperative, basically imperative sentence, and then you are ordering that person, écrivez-les vous-même, write them yourself. The next one is c'est lui-même qui l'a dit. It's himself who said it. So now it should be clear now with you, right? If you are using self concept, then it is going to be chronotonic plus mem. So here are some sentences or some examples that we're going to see, and we will see what is the, like, how it gets changes, and we'll see the alternator. Like, observe the first sentence. Je pense à cette photographe, right? So à cette photographe, like if you think about photograph, like we are talking about the photo, it is singular third person, right? So singular third person is what? Je, tu, il, elle will be third person. Since photograph is feminine, je pense à elle. You can directly write like this. So either a sentence is there, you can say it, je pense à cette photographe, or you can say je pense à elle. And this à cette photographe is replaced by elle, because this is object, and object is replaced by object pronoun. And since this noun is third person singular, feminine, we are using elle here. Tu as besoin de cet avocat. Avocat, advocate or lawyer. Tu as besoin de lui. Advocate, person. Third person singular will be there, masculine, right? So it can be replaced with lui. Same way, nous parlons de nos enfants. Nos enfants, now nos enfants is third person plural for male, correct? So that's why we are using after the EUX and D apostrophe EUX, because two vowels will be facing each other. That's the reason we are removing one extra E. Nous parlons de. Faites attention à cet homme. Now à cet homme will be third person singular, and you are replacing it with lui because it's masculine. If it was feminine, suppose at the place of homme it was their femme, then we would use here is, we will replace it with elle, correct? Let's observe another example here. Il a peur de son professeur de chemistry, basically. Now if you have a look at this, it's appear to be this big, but the professor is an object, right? The professor will decide like which person of chronotonic we're going to use there. So here professor third person singular is there, the person is singular, so it can be replaced. Il a peur de lui. The next is nous tenons à nos amis. We are attached to our friends. Nous tenons à nos amis. It's taken as a third person plural, so it can be replaced by EUX. Nous tenons à eux. The last one is elle chante à son fille. Elle chante à lui. A fils is son, actually. So that's it. If you go through these examples and usage of it, it's gonna be clear for you to how to use chronotonic. In next videos we are going to discuss other pronouns, object pronouns also. And if you like the video, please subscribe it and wait for another video. Thank you so much. Bye bye.